Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and start today's meeting, call meeting to order. All right, we're a little slim here, but that's okay. We can still have a great meeting as usual. So welcome members. I know we don't have any guests today. What I'd like to do is a little bit of a change in our agenda. Before I introduce the Toastmaster of the day, we'd like to start off with a joke, okay? Now, please forgive me because I'm not the best joke teller. You know, I tried a little something, so you guys let me know what you think. I'll work on it, of course. All right, so let's start out with the joke of the day.
Oh.
Okay? All right, everybody ready? All right, so listen. So this is anecdotal, so it's not going to be a knock-knock or anything like that. So, a man receives a phone call from his doctor. The doctor says, "I've got some good news and I've got some bad news." The man says, "Okay, give me the good news first." The doctor says, "The good news is you have 24 hours to live." The man replies, "Oh no, if that's the good news, then what's the bad news?" The doctor says, "The bad news is I forgot to call you yesterday." Thank you. Oh, so this is something we'll continue for each one of our sessions to have a joke master of the day. I think it's fun to start it off a little light, so that's our first joke of the day. Okay? So without further ado, I'll go ahead and introduce our Toastmaster of the day. That will be Marcia Shaw. Let's give Marcia.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and all my fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to be the Toastmaster of the day, and I would like to start off by telling you all the theme of the day, and it is going to be Labor Day. Labor Day is around, and I don't know, I always know what we do on 4th of July, what we do for Christmas, but I don't think we do anything specific for Labor Day. And I had not been to school here, so I don't even know if there are any school activities for Labor Day or something. So I wanted to ask all of you what all of you do for Labor Day and just get some insight. And the quote of the day is right there. "Progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator. And change has its enemies." I feel we see that every day working with IT. We have like continuous changes and we progress a lot, but change brings a lot of backlogs and it keeps you behind. All right, so I will go ahead and ask everybody today to explain a little bit of their roles and give a little introduction. So first we have our general evaluator who will be Carol.
Hi, my name is to make sure that the meeting starts on time and ends on time and that everybody fulfills their roles.
Yep. Also, would anybody like to volunteer to evaluate?
I just asked Julius to do
Okay,
that.
so he's gonna do it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And our table topics master will be Penny.
Hi. So as table topics master, as you know, I'll have 3 to 4 questions that will have to do with today's theme, and the purpose of this is to have everyone do impromptu thinking on their feet for a speech from 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Penny. Next, we have Daniel, who will be our counter and grammarian.
Hello. Yes, as she said, I'll be the awe and counter and the grammarian today. Something out for those crush words that y'all will use throughout your presentation, and I'll just keep a tally of those throughout the meeting.
Thank you, Danielle. Next, we have our timer, who will be Janice today, Janice Mensa.
I'm Janice, and I will be your timekeeper, so I will show you green when you qualify, yellow when you're
In the middle of the speech.
about the middle, and then as you get to, when you get to the end, I guess, you get red, and then you'll have 30 seconds
Perfect.
to wrap up.
And Anu is going to be our vote counter.
So as you guys know, we started counting or started voting a few weeks ago. So I will be counting votes for the prepared speech, the evaluations, and the table topics. So and then each of the winners would get a certificate today.
Thank you everybody for that description. Now we'll go ahead and start with our first speech, which is by Olu today. And for his description, Olu is a network engineer. He has been with HP for about 3 years. He loves to write, read, teach, and make music. He says that he's one of those people who believes in raising the minimum wage, and he salutes the president for confronting and proposing the idea. Today, Olu is speaking from one of the Better Speaker series, and you're required to give 2 speeches from this series and 10 speeches from the Advanced Communication Manual to qualify for your Advanced Communication Silver Award. So, welcome.
I was thinking I was going to be the second person to comment, but that's okay. I'm working towards getting my Advanced Communication Silver, and for that you have to give 10 speeches from the advanced booklet and 2 speeches from this series. I've given one. This is the second one, and the purpose of giving this speech, it's basically to encourage us that it's a good thing to give speeches. And giving a speech for some of us is as good as confronting our fears. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that we can do to prepare to give as many speeches as we can. For me, I won't call myself an expert, but I found out that the more you give it, the better you get. A few years ago, I went to a college to work, but I was told to come and lecture, and that was going to be my first time of standing in front of people to speak. And for me, it was like someone just tried to hand me, so to speak. I mean, if there was something that I could do to run away, then I would have done that, but I couldn't escape it. So I did some things. I went to the field, spoke to the grass, memorized all my notes, and I assumed that my audience was, I actually went to a football pitch. They had lots of grasses, and I stood there, kept on repeating the same thing over and over again. And what I found out was, by the time I got to the front of the main audience, I thought I was still on the field. And so I wasn't scared. So what I want us to know is that giving speeches doesn't kill. And the more you give it, the better you get. Now, so the aim of this is to go from this state of being scared to this state of being confident. Now, part of the highlights are, number 1, the biggest challenge in giving speeches is actual anxiety. People are scared. Now we're going to find out what anxieties can do. Then, what are those things to watch out for? What are the symptoms of anxiety? Then how do you manage it? Now, managing anxiety is basically what I call confronting your fears. Now, what you don't confront, you cannot overcome. Okay, so I want us to be ready to confront that fear that hinders us from volunteering to give speeches. The first trigger is that most times anxiety, what can trigger anxiety? When we find ourselves in a place where we're not used to, we're not comfortable with, or we're not familiar with. Now that can bring up anxiety. That's something that most of us have experienced. Like the first time I had to travel to a country, that I couldn't speak their language. I wasn't sure, whether they were telling me welcome or they were trying to sell me, so to speak. But somehow, anxiety is something that is natural. It happens to everybody, even the president. But the point here is that you have to overcome it. Now, what else can trigger anxiety? The risk of failing. When we think that, when I come to the front of people to speak, I might not do too well. But that's the best way to learn. You can't make a correction if you don't make mistakes. Now, something happened, while I was in church on Sunday. My pastor chose to come for Sunday school, and the guy that was teaching, the moment he saw my pastor, just began to say rubbish, because there was so much tension, so much pressure. You know what happens, if your boss comes and tells you to come and give a presentation. So that can also create anxiety. When you begin to feel that, man, what I'm saying is just foolish, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now, the possibility of the fact that, like she said, that she did something, when she was going to crack that joke, she actually reduced the expectation, she lowered it, then she came very high. So the joke sounded very funny, right? Now, that is wisdom. Now, so, for some people, it's like, if I come out there and crack a joke, it might not be too funny, right? So that could create anxiety too. So what she did was, she did something very wise. She lowered the expectation so that nobody would say that joke wasn't funny, because for me, I wasn't expecting it to be funny, but it was funny eventually. Now, what are the symptoms? When you start getting anxious, what do you see? Now, the first thing that happens is that you get scared. Now, your heart, will start beating very, very fast. You become nervous. Now, this one we're used to. Your tummy starts feeling funny, and we call it butterflies. You just become uncomfortable. Now, it's not always something good for somebody to experience, but the aim of this speech again is to show us how to manage it. And I'm going to spend more time on that, but I'm just going through this so we know what to watch out for. Then, for example, I found out right now that I was moving my hands too often, and that could be a distraction. Now, that could also be a sign of anxiety. But at the same time, when you speak, you need your hands, because they help you to project exactly what you are doing. We call it body control. So the secret is, to be moderate about it. And for some of us, we speak with our hands. Part of the symptom is also when it's like you just go blank in between. Now, watch out for some speeches that in between, the person speaking might just pause or just look up. It happened to me once, and she spotted it. Now, so that could also be a sign of anxiety. Then, at times, you might begin to feel dizzy. Somebody once told me that once, he felt as if the ground should just open and for him to just go inside because he felt he was speaking rubbish. Now, these are, life experiences. People go through it. But the beauty of it is that we can overcome it. Now, how do we confront it? We have to confront it because we have to overcome it. Whether you like it or not, you're going to stand in front of people to speak. And that's why Toastmasters is very good. First thing is experience. Practice in front of a mirror. Now, I was sharing my own experience of going to a field. I imagined that field was my classroom and the grasses were the students. I learned it from a preacher called Ora Roberts. The first time he was going to preach. So I practiced it and it worked. You know why? Our body system cannot differentiate between what is real and what is fake. It reacts the same way. So if I pretend to slap you, the same way that you will react is the same way that you will feel if you imagine that somebody is about to slap you unconsciously. That's why whether you are dreaming or it is live, the reaction, the responses are almost the same thing. Now, so practice can never be too much. Practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the more you see your mistakes. Now, as you get better, the amount of times that you spend to practice reduces. Now, there's something called comfortable audience, right? Either your wife, your children, I mean, they can't beat you up. The worst they will do is they will laugh at you. So tell them, kids, come around. Tell me, I mean, what? And those kids are very wonderful. They will tell you exactly whether you are funny or you sound stupid or you should make some changes. So, I mean, for those with families and you have the time, call them and rehearse your speech. Sometimes, I mean, in my church, I teach on Sundays, and I will call my wife and go through the sermon and tell her, okay, how do I sound, stupid or foolish, or were you blessed? You say yes. So I'm like, cool, because she's a very strong critic. The next thing is exactly what I'm doing now. I can say this is like my 45th or 50th speech, and I won't call myself an expert, but all I want to do is just to get better. So the more the speech I give, because for me, it's like one of my strongest weak points, and I want to overcome it, and I've chosen to confront it. So I'm like, the more I do it, the better I get, and that's why you always see me volunteering. I've chosen to be an evaluator or a joke master, table topics master, but this is something that I want to confront and deal with, because I find myself always standing in front of people to speak, either by choice or not by choice. Next one is give presentations before other groups. Now, having tried to speak in front of people that you are comfortable with, look for people that you are not comfortable with. Now, this might not always be feasible for some of us, but if you have it, try it. It doesn't kill. The next one is the power of the brain.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters. Who would expect a dull and morose guy like me to come up here that often bloviates about so many issues in life to give a humorous speech? So, if Marsha had met me yesterday face to face and asked, "Hey Vijay, would you like to give a speech tomorrow?" my response would have been either yes, maybe, no. The title of my speech is The Great Indian Head Shake, The Great Indian Wobble, The Great Indian Nodding. There you go. You have somebody that's already experienced with the nodding, that's very famous from that part of the world. 15 years ago, I was fresh out of college in Chennai, my hometown in India. Fresh out of college, I joined this IT company, a small company, worked there for a few months, and then they sponsored my work visa to move to the United States to work for their local branch in Houston. It was supposed to be an IT contract. My visa got approved. My employer called me to his room. Very good. Oh, thank you, sir. Good job. You got the visa. But what will you do when you get out of the plane? When you go to immigration? Be careful. There is FBI, there is CIA, they're all watching you. America is a great country, but you have to. So everything was nodding. So the nodding plays a significant role in communication, in body language, and in gestures, and it's an accepted form of communication. So next time you travel to India, if you don't know how to nod or understand what nodding means, There might be some gap in communication, but you'll get used to it, like Penny did. So 15 years ago, I took that visa, boarded the plane, Lufthansa, German Airlines, changed the planes in Frankfurt. Then I asked that lady, this plane goes to Houston. The lady was an Indian lady working in Germany. She said, so I got the answer. So it was easy. Got out of the plane, walked through immigration, and there was this Asian gentleman, one of the sweetest gentlemen that I ever seen, ever in life as well as in immigration. He was sitting there behind the glass, wearing glasses, a cheerful, chirpy face. Welcome to the US. That's the first thing he told me, even without taking my passport. And then I hand over the passport to him and say thanks. The first question he asked me was, are you here on a H1 work visa? I says, yes, sir. Very good. The next question, what is your specialization? Oracle. Very good. Third question he asked me was, so are you planning to settle down here? Are you planning to emigrate? I said, I don't know. He looked at me like this. I was saying, I don't know. The answer is no, but the nodding is yes. And he got confused, poor man. But nevertheless, he put the stamp on my passport and said, welcome to the US, very good. It was all over in 3 minutes, 3 questions. That was probably the smoothest immigration ever as a non-immigrant. And today, even being a US citizen, I get harassed when I get back from India. Asking all kinds of questions. How long were you gone? 6 months? No, 3 weeks. So I report to the lobby at CCM 7 for my first ever IT job in the United States. Joining Compaq Computer Corporation way back in 1999 in May as an IT contractor. It was blazing hot outside, sizzling hot. We were getting roasted, but there I go, wearing a formal pair of trousers, a full sleeve length shirt with a tie, with a blazer. And then I walk in, thinking that was supposed to be the standard of dressing in Compaq Computer Corporation, one of the greatest Fortune 500 companies in the world. And then as I enter the hallway from the garage, I see people wearing jeans and being dressed in casual, cool attire. Then I walked to the lobby, and then I met the security guard there, and I said, I am here to meet Ms. Jones. And she said, is this your first day at Compaq? This is a new job? Yes? Yes. She was confused. Then I walked to the 3rd floor. Well, I took the elevator to the 3rd floor and met Mrs. Jones, who hired me. She was my hiring manager. And then I had a brief catch-up conversation with her. Needless to say, a substantial portion of my gestures was nodding my head this way for yes, this way for a cheerful yes, this way for a hesitant yes. Maybe. The second day at work, she met me and she said, I want to talk to you about 2 specific things if you don't mind. I said, I'm absolutely fine. The first thing is, I expect you to be at work in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. You don't need to wear blazers in this hot sun. No, this is a cool, casual company where everything is informal. And the second thing is, what exactly do you mean when you say S like this? I mean, here, they either say S like this or no like this. So what exactly does this mean? Then I said, oh, Ms. Jones. She said, forget calling me Ms. Jones, just call me Kathy. Just call me by my first name. I said, okay. Here, we are very clear about how we nod. This is for S, this is for no. They said, I understand, Ms. Jones, but the way it works in India is, because of the cultural influences, nodding plays a significant role in the way you respond to situations. Anu. That means Anu has done a great job. What? It means Anu has not done a great job. Excellent job. The other day, my little daughter, she's 6 years old, she did something that she was not supposed to have done. I said, What? And she said, what, Dad, what? I said, what is that? Yes, Dad, but I don't understand what you mean. What is this? Just, if I did something wrong, just tell me I did something wrong. Or if I did something right, just to say I did something right. But what is this nodding heads? What does it mean? I said, well, that is the way we communicate. You better get used to it. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Vijay. I had to take a while to get rid of my head nodding. But yeah, we'll someday we'll overcome.
Oh, it's part of our culture. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, so next we have Penny for our impromptu speaking section.
Yeah, we want to get the timers report.
Okay, so our timer today is Janice Mensah, and for her introduction, she mentions that Janice, being a U.S. laborer who has been in the workforce for most of her adult years, she celebrated the Labor Day without understanding its origin. This U.S. holiday was prompted by the Central Labor Union and the Knights of Labor, who rallied in support of workers striking for an 8-hour day. A day earlier, on Tuesday, May 4th, 1886, a bombing took place at a labor demonstration at Haymarket Square in Chicago. An unknown person threw a dynamite bomb at police as an act to disperse the public meeting. This event is known as the Haymarket Massacre or Haymarket Affair. So, not to commemorate this affair, President Cleveland established Labor Day as an official holiday on the first Monday in September in 1887 in support of the Knights. So, Janice, can we please have the timers report?
Yes. The first speech by Olu qualified in 14:38, and VJ came in at 7:36.
It's okay. Exceeded.
Okay. Thank you, Janice. Now I would like to call upon Penny, our president, for the impromptu speaking section, which is the table topics section. And for her introduction, while in high school, she participated in the annual Labor Day parade in her hometown by being a part of the marching band and playing catchy tunes for the local community.
Make sure everybody had a chance to vote as well. Everybody. Okay.
There's only one qualified.
There's only one qualified because I exceeded the time.
Oh,
So
okay.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
there is-
No worries. All right, so table topics. We know that Labor Day is our theme for today. So, let's see. What I was thinking about when I did my questions, I think that, Marcia, you said Labor Day, it's like, well, really, what is it? And why do we celebrate it in the first place? So the first question I have is, why do you think it's important to even celebrate Labor Day? Can I get any volunteers to answer that? And what do you think about that? Why do you think it's important?
Okay,
Carol? All right.
Thank you. I don't know necessarily if it's important or not, but it's always nice to have a day off. So as a day off, I'm very happy. I try to stay off my routines and do something else. But at the same time, when you think about the introduction that Janice gave, it's very important because we work all day long and those people felt that they needed to have standard hours and not work maybe or overwork, not work 8 hours or 12 hours or 15 hours a day and not being recognized for it. And yesterday I was at the store trying to buy some tablecloths because I'm having a meeting tonight, and I started buying red, white, and blue. And after I bought red, white, and blue, I said, well, Labor Day, who buys red, white, and blue? So I started asking the cashiers, I started asking the people that were shopping, and nobody knew. So it's almost like they had no clue what they really did on Labor Day. So I think most of us really, we celebrate, we say thank you, we have the day off. We know that it's very important to have a job, but we don't really know what it's all about.
Excellent. That's a good point. Thank you so much, Carol. So, my next topic, since we really don't know, well, a lot of people really don't know what Labor Day is about, let's think about what we do know, and that's cookouts. A lot of people do cookouts. This is the unofficial last weekend of summer. So my question is, what foods come to mind when you think about Labor Day cookouts? Anybody? DJ?
Okay. What foods can I think about? I don't want to bloviate too much on this, but I'm a big fan of grilling in the backyard. Anytime during the year, not just the beginning of summer or end of summer, let it be even spring or even winter. Just imagine the situation where you walk into a grocery, like an Asian food store, Hong Kong food market, and go to the seafood section and you see a variety of fish, succulent sea fish, succulent river fish from all parts of the world. My favorite is the big and juicy red snapper. Get it cut into fillets, then take it back home, marinate it in a blend of spices, chili powder, turmeric, paprika, pepper, lemon juice, and the paste of curry leaves, what we use in India, marinate it for 2 hours. And then, assuming end of summer is beautiful fall-like atmosphere outside where everything is cool and chill, open that glass of red wine. What pairs with food? With fish. Maybe a glass of Pinot or a glass of Cabernet, and then light the fire up there in the fire pit. Call your friends and family and sit around the fire, light the grill. The weather is a beautiful 50 degrees, 55 degrees, I'm assuming. Sometimes if you're lucky, we might get that kind of a weather in Houston. And then on that hot grill, place these finely marinated, juicy red snapper fillets, and then let it sizzle for a few minutes and turn it upside down. Serve it on a platter with fresh veggies and have a sip of that beautiful aged vintage red wine. That's what comes to my mind.
Wow, I think you just made everybody hungry, DJ. Well, you know we've got a special event coming up, so feel free to bring that dish. We'll definitely partake in it.
Yo, I'll be here.
Who likes seafood? I would like to know. You are a vegetarian, right, Anu?
Excellent.
You're not?
No.
Marsha maybe is. You're not?
That was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you. Definitely, you didn't bloviate that, but you really opened up our senses and our imagination on what that fish would taste like. So thank you very much. I think we do have plenty of time, so I think we can do a couple more. All right. So Labor Day also signifies the beginning of certain events and the end of other events. So from the beginning of certain events, what sort of events do you look forward to the beginning of, and why? For example, school starting, football, even Labor Day sales. So what sort of things do you look forward to after Labor Day? Okay, Janice?
I'm a traditional person, so every time Labor Day comes around, I always think, no white shoes after Labor Day. That's the first thing I think. No white pants, also all the whites, because I'm a seasonal person. I came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it's like we pack up all the things and get ready for the fall and the winter, so we put away all the whites. And the verdict is still out on patents, whether we, put away the patents or bring out the patents. So verdict's out on that. So it was kind of getting adjusted to that when I came to Texas, because the season is such that you can wear all this all year round, including open-toe shoes. Who wears open-toe shoes in the winter? But the weather allows for it. So that's what's so neat about it. And then the other thing is, I love the changing of the leaves and preparing for fall. I love fall. Fall is the most beautiful season to me, especially when you go back to going east to Virginia and some of the East Coast New England countries or cities or states. But those are the two things that stand out the most when Labor Day rolls around.
Perfect. All right. So, I think that should do it. We've got extra time, so I'll go ahead and hand it back to the Toastmaster, Marcia. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Janice, I know you were speaking, but do you have a timer's report? Okay, perfect.
Yes, all qualified. Carol at 2:08, BJ at 1:47, and myself at 1:13.
Perfect, thank you.
Excellent.
So please go ahead and cast your votes. Next we have the evaluation segment, and Carol is our general evaluator today. And for Carol's introduction, she already mentioned in her table topics, but she says we may all celebrate Labor Day differently, but we all have one thing in common: a day off from our regular routine.
Yes.
For her, Labor Day represents a recommitment to the workforce. She does that by thanking God that she has a job and prays hours to continue on helping others in need. Thank you.
Well, as a general evaluator, I think we studied the meeting on time. We are doing well. We had our 2 speakers today. We also have both evaluators. We also have our timer, our vote counter, and grammarian. Most of us have used the word of the day. And I think that right now I will introduce Penny, who has decided that she would be evaluating Olu. Thank you very much, Penny.
I'm also the camera person. Just make sure that's straight. Okay. Once again, Olu, saving the day. You know, I always have to thank you for that. One of the things I really liked about this speech is the learning factor, because you're saying things that we all think about, but we never really come out and speak, especially when it comes to doing things off the cuff, impromptu, with these speeches. I was just talking to BJ today and some of the other people. It's like, what's going on? Why don't people want to do their speeches? It's like your speech was just right on time. I like the way that you conveyed that it's okay to make mistakes and it's actually how you grow. I thought that was a wonderful message. And I think people really need to internalize that, especially in this club. That's why this club was created, so that we can make mistakes in speech giving and become better. That's the whole premise. Now, as far as this relating to everyday life, fear, of course, in every capacity, we've got it. And I like the way you broke it down on various ways that we can handle fear. One of the things I liked especially was when you said to know yourself when it comes to the speeches, know your audience, and know your topic. I thought that was excellent food for thought for people giving their speeches. I also liked your breathing technique. I think a lot of people forget about that. You get so anxious, you are short of breath, and taking that time, I was even breathing with you when you were giving the example. So I thought that was excellent as well. That's great advice. And I also liked what you said about visualization. I don't think people realize how important it is because, like you said, your mind really can't tell the difference between reality and what's in your head and what you're thinking of. So when you spoke about thinking your audience will like you, and then by the time your speech comes, you've got the feeling that they like you, and they will. And I hate to go back to one of those, I guess, Academy Awards where I believe it was one of the actors says, they like me, they really like me. Yeah, it's true, they do like you because you thought of it and you pretty much manifested it, so to speak. Now the only points that I would give you is you had a lot of great main points, but sometimes you went a little too fast and we couldn't quite internalize those main points. So if you've got some really key things that you want to convey to us, slow down a little bit so that we can really listen and understand. The last thing I could say is you did throw in there a couple of times that you're almost done, you're almost done. that conveys to me you're not confident in your message. I don't want to know that you're almost done. If I'm plugged in, I want you to continue. So make sure, don't say that. Just keep going, keep the audience engaged, and otherwise, wonderful speech. Thank you. So, who's coming up? General evaluation.
Okay, thank you very much. And I will have the second evaluator, Julius, who has decided at the last minute to fill in for us. He will evaluate VJ. Thank you very much.
No problem, no problem. Thank you all for having me today. I am here to evaluate VJ. First of all, I want to say what I like, and then I'll move to ways to improve, and then I'll give a summary, and then I'll give a couple of questions of how I felt about it. So, what I liked is that you weren't ashamed. You came up and you showed a lot of courage. You had great eye contact. It was very informative, but it also made the people laugh. It indicated that the audience were entertained. Everyone was laughing, having a good time. Ways to improve, I feel that you could probably, you're a great speaker, but at the same time, I want you to focus on improving your flow. I felt that the flow was kind of going here and there a little bit, and I just want you to be, focused and have more of a flowing function. Also, the conclusion was a little bit abrupt, and that's something that we all can improve on. Conclusions sometimes, especially if you're worried about the time factor, you don't want to, close abruptly, but you do want to give it a certain conclusion. But overall, it was an inspirational speech, and you had an excellent choice of words. You did not bloviate, but if you did bloviate, it was in a good way. And as far as ways to improve, there really wasn't much. You did a great job, man. I'm proud of you, and I'm glad your education was part of the Toastmasters. Thank you.
Shake hands.
Okay.
Thank you. At this point, I do turn into Madame Toastmaster.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, can we have the timers report for the evaluators, please?
Yes, Penny's evaluation 309 and Julie's evaluation 159.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So please go ahead and put your votes in. I would request our grammarian today, Danielle, to give the report. And for her introduction, she has worked with HP for over 4 years and is a part of the strategy and planning reporting team. She wholeheartedly supports our troops as she has friends and family that are or have been a part of our armed forces over the years.
Okay, so for today, we'll go down the list. Olu, your crutch word was so. You used okay a couple times, but main one was around so. And I also noticed when you start to think, you sometimes not stutter, but you reiterate the same word. So for example, you go I or my. So just keep a little eye out for that. VJ, I couldn't catch any crutch words. You used a few occasionally, but more so in your speech than when they were needed. You did use the word of the day twice, so congratulations. Then for our evaluations, Carol, you did stay on or a couple times. And Julius, the same thing, and And then Penny, for you did max out on and you had a few so's and but for the most part, not too bad. And of course, he did use the word of the day as well. And same with you, Julius. Then we have Marcia. Yours were around and so same as everyone else. And then Janice and Anu, I heard y'all say and a couple times, but not too bad. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we are mostly done for our meeting today. I would just like to ask Anu, who is our vote counter today. I'll just give an introduction for her. She has been with HP for over 3 years. She's a part of the engineering engagement team in GT. Her contribution might not be significant, but she tries to do her part by keeping the nation's economy healthy by shopping regularly.
There you go.
She says it's completely selfless and it's all for the economy. So,
You do that, right?
yep.
Okay.
Yep, so that's the end of my part. I would like to go ahead and call our Madam Toastmaster, Madam President.
Perfect. Thank you. Wonderful job, Toastmaster. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So Club, once again, I thought we had another great session. Thank you so much for letting me videotape you. Just to let you know, you guys all look great on video. So, good looking group. Good looking group. All right, so without further ado, okay, so I'll start out with best table topics today. PJ. Congratulations. All right. All right, here's the big one. Best prepared speech. Drum roll. Congratulations once again. Great job, thank you. And thank you for the impromptu. And best speech evaluation. Oh, what a surprise me. Wonderful. Thanks, everybody. So, at this point in time, what I'd like to do is see if we can go ahead and fill spots for next week. So we've got one more week before our big charter party. I'm really excited about that, by the way. And I want to thank each of you who volunteered to bring snacks and drinks and food and the like. I really appreciate that. I don't think we could be able to do that without your help because, again, we've not done any fundraising as of yet for our club. So I appreciate you volunteering. All right, so for next week, Toastmaster of the Day. Anybody interested?
Anybody that has not
Yeah, I have
done it? Oh, yeah,
Okay,
great.
all right.
Anu.
Anu, thank you so much. Anu. Joke Master? Ha I think I started something.
waiting for that one.
So you've got a good joke coming.
It's definitely it's something people will really like.
All right, well, you see where I've set the bar, Janice. All right, general evaluator. Anybody?
I can do that one. Haven't done that one
Okay,
yet.
Okay.
Danielle.
Then
All right, table topics master. Anybody not done that yet?
I haven't done that.
Okay, Marcia, thanks. Okay, what about odd counter, grammarian? Most everybody's done that already, right?
But I can do it again. That's good.
Carol? Okay.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. Timer. Actually, I've not been timer, so I'll do it. I'll do timer. And Olu, you want to be vote counter? Alrighty.
Olu?
Yes.
Okay. Most important speeches. So Marsha was asking me she was asking if I had a list of those that have not given their icebreakers yet. We do have a few.
Okay.
Do you want us to reach out to them
Okay.
first, or do you want somebody from here to sign up for at least one speech so we have one confirmed speech?
Yeah, let's start here, and if anybody wants to do a speech from this group.
I want to, I'm going ahead and sign up, but it's just PCR stuff.
Okay.
So we'll
Speech.
start again.
Speech 3,
This is your
That's
speech.
my first speech.
Your second.
Second.
Project 2.
Project
Second
2.
speech.
Okay,
Okay. So Janice.
Yes.
Organize your speech.
It just keeps.
No worries. Just try to let us know a couple days ahead of time, so that it, you know. I know sometimes it's last minute, but if you
Monday's
can.
a holiday, so I'll try to let you know by Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
So we have you for the speech, slot number 1.
Yes.
And second speech, anyone that's interested right now, I mean, you still have a chance.
Right.
Want to progress?
And if not, you know, BJ, let's reach out to those who've not even given
Okay,
their first
sure. All right,
speech.
sure.
You can do
I
that.
think Teddy said that he would be able to do it.
Teddy?
He hadn't done his icebreaker.
Ah, that's
He
right.
thought he had done his icebreaker, but then Paige said he didn't.
Yeah. So Paige volunteered.
Maybe follow up with Teddy just to confirm where he
Yeah.
is with his speech.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be contacting them and contacting the Toastmasters. Sorry last time, Daniel, and you were the
no.
Toastmaster. I did not
I
reach out to you.
understood. No, it's fine. I
So,
had most of the
Anu-
names anyways.
Yeah, I've noted down the names. I'll send out the agenda to you and as a Toastmaster.
All right.
Julie said Teddy did his icebreaker.
He did his icebreaker.
He did. He was one of the first
Not
ones.
Julius,
Yeah.
not Julius. He's saying Teddy has done his icebreaker.
Oh, Teddy.
Teddy?
Teddy
Yeah.
has.
So far as I know,
Ted or
Okay.
Teddy.
Teddy, not Ted.
Not Ted.
Teddy.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll have BJ reach out.
I'll reach out.
For the second slot. And just a reminder again, don't forget September 10th, our big charter party. I think it's going to be great, and anybody can come. So invite your managers, friends, anybody who's interested in coming to find out about Toastmasters. Please have them come. Oh, by the way, the video. We actually have a SharePoint site for Toastmasters, so there is. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. There was a small glitch right shortly after your speech. So the last maybe 2 minutes, for whatever reason, got cut off. But I apologize about that. But I got most of it. You guys, like I said, I'm not being facetious. You guys look very good on the camera there. So you're very poised and you really looked well. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that to the SharePoint. And what I'm going to do is put the link on our PDL. So go there at your leisure, see what you look like. And it's like, if you have any comments, let me know. Type in, you can do a little better with that camera angle next time, and put the soft lens on, why don't you? So just let me know. But I'll try to have that up in a couple days. Okay?
I have a
Yes.
question concerning the party.
Yes.
Do you think one table is going to be enough, or will we need
We'll use
to-
the back table as well.
Okay, so we're going to clean up over here?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what they usually do in this room. They just use it.
Okay.
I don't think we'll need another one, but we can take advantage of that back one as well.
Okay, so we just need to clean this up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anything else from the officers?
One more
Yes.
question. As general evaluator, when do I evaluate the meeting as a whole?
That's
I guess I
That's what you were to do when you came up. That's what you
at
did.
what point?
And you did do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Okay, I
did do
did.
that. So you were fine.
Oh, okay. I just didn't realize at what point I was supposed to do that because I had notes and I didn't say anything. That's okay.
You're
That's
absolutely
okay.
fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see what you do next time to make sure.
Don't judge me against
All right.
that.
I want to judge you, but I'm gonna try to line it up for
just
me.
one question to you, Penny. So most of these forms that we have, some of them are unused.
I keep them.
You keep them right. That's
I
good.
keep them. I
That's good.
recycle them. All right. Couple more things. Just please don't forget. Make sure you clap for your fellow members, Toastmaster members, when they come up and when they go sit down. That's very important to do that. I know sometimes we slack off on that, but I just want to make sure people are comfortable when they come up to the podium as well as when they go back to their seat. So we just want to make sure we continue to do that. And I think that's really the last thing I have for today. The website, next week, we want to talk about that a little bit if we've got time. The website, I think it's ready. Is it ready at this point? So our website is ready at this point. So we're gonna spend a few minutes on in our next meeting talking about how to navigate through it. What we expect of you, because that's gonna be our next means of how we sign up for the different roles. We're going to just have you guys go up to the website, click a button, say, well, I can do this, December 12th. We'll already have somebody. And you can look forward into the forward months to see, okay, well, I can do it this way. So that it'll be a lot easier to see and fill roles that way. And so we'll just give a quick and dirty tutorial on what to do on the site, okay? All right, so we've got, a little bit over, so let me go ahead and end. Thank you. Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. All right. I didn't realize it was 5 after.
Looks like we have somebody waiting outside to get
Some
in.
of these can be reused.
I do. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Great job.
Can you let me know if you need any help with the part? I should write across here so I
I also sit right across.
I know where you sit.